Hi, I'm Deborah Dahab, and I'm an expat coach and intercultural psychologist. My goal is to help expats like you lead a very fulfilling and easy, smooth cultural transition when facing new cultures. If you like this video, please subscribe and you will be notified every time I release new content. Today we're going to talk about holiday blues. This is a very common aspect of expat life because, usually during the year, we're occupied with many things, let it be, things in the house, with the kids, or with work. And during the holiday season, which normally goes through, the month of December for some Americans, North Americans, includes Thanksgiving, already starts this feeling. So for some people, it's even Halloween that starts to trigger these emotions. It can be a really hard time that can make our sense of loneliness and disconnect from our families even more pronounced. This is very common. Many of my clients go through this, and eventually they learn how to deal with it. But the first year or 2 years tend to be really, really hard because it's something you might not be expecting. Maybe you weren't even that close to your family back home, or you took it for granted and never really thought about it. So, the first year is really hard. The second year, sometimes you manage, and onwards, people tend to learn how to cope. But it's still difficult. I mean, many of us, regardless of being expats or not, we have this holiday blues in the sense that the end of the year is coming and we look back and we tend to look at the things that we didn't do and not our accomplishments, right? We tend to look at the negative. And then somehow we start getting overwhelmed with all the stuff that you need to do. So for regular people, it's hard. And for expats, it's even harder because you have that added, that added difficulty and hurdle of not being connected with family and friends and close friends, which is something that we usually have in the holiday season and we look forward to. Now, it's interesting to see that some of my clients have really had a hard time in finding ways on their own to deal with this season and the feelings that accompany this season. So I decided to make this video to help you, expat, with some ideas that might help you. And of course, you can come with your own, but it's just to get you going in trying to find solutions for this specific time of year. So the first tip I'm going to give you is about donating. So this is a season that many people are feeling, as I mentioned, many people are feeling sad, overwhelmed, and many people are away from their families, either for financial reasons or because they have to work, or because they're sick. So one very, very good way to spend this season is to donate your time or your skills through volunteering. It is undescribable, the feeling that you get when you donate your time and or your skills. It can be, the typical community soup or community meal, but it could also be helping, organize an office, helping deal with paperwork. These many of the associations and places that need volunteers are understaffed, right? So even if you're just there to help them organize, do some bookkeeping, or help in this season, you can help wrapping presents, wrapping gifts for children, or collecting the gifts for children. It's endless. So my advice would be, find a cause that is really close to your heart, and go for it. Just 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, whatever you can do really means a lot for those to receive it, for those who receive it. And go to local communities, even expat groups online many times have volunteer opportunities. Let it be recovering a garden or planting trees, you name it. You have causes for everyone. I'm sure you'll find your cause. So that's the first tip. The second tip is regarding connection. And the one thing that we really miss as an expat in general is connection, and it's hard to make it, right? So in this season, connect, make an effort, and for example, organize a meal either in your house or in someone's house. But bringing expats together, bringing people who are in the same situation together is really powerful. And you can have a really nice time with people you haven't really, gotten to know. Everyone's on the same boat, so to speak, feeling more or less the same things. So it's really an opportunity to bring people together. You can really make friends for life at these moments. And if you're from different backgrounds, and from different religions, so much the better. Bring your typical food, share how you usually do these holidays in your home country or with your family. And it's really important to share and to be open and learn. That's would be my tip number 2. Now, tip number 3 is regarding food and other traditions. So we always have for the holidays a certain thing that we like. Either it's decorations, or it's food, or a specific food, or a drink. Like, North Americans will have eggnog, Germans will have another type of drink, which I don't remember right now. Whatever your thing is, whatever takes you back to that feeling of coziness, comfort, and food and drink are very related to that usually, because it's very primal. It's, like nourishment, not only for the body, but for the soul. So whatever that is, do it. You don't have to be master chef material to try and, go online, get the recipe, ask for tips from your parents. They might be able to help you with that. Get the ingredients. This whole movement of doing it will bring you a lot of satisfaction, and you will feel a lot more connected to the good side of this holiday season, the good side of celebrating, the good side of, being in sync with your traditions and with who you are, with your identity. So be it decorations, if that's your thing, decorate your house, have a Christmas tree if that's if that's the case, or a Hanukkah, or whatever is your thing. Do it. Make an effort to do it. And the last tip that I would like to share with you is regarding traditions as well, but creating a new tradition. Now, this can be a bit challenging because traditions are something that are passed on to us, right? But they started somewhere. And why don't you start a new tradition? Especially if you have kids and you're feeling like, I really feel bad that they're disconnected from their grandparents or from extended family. Create that tradition, even together. If you have children that are old enough to pitch in ideas, ask them, what would you like to do? It might have something to do with the culture you're in, like specific foods that you want to incorporate in your meal. If you live near the beach, you can say, you know what, let's have a yearly trip to the beach and walk and, pick up shells, even if it's cold. We can do that. So think of something that would be very close to your heart as well, and that will bring you and your family satisfaction. That is something that you created, and that you can take this new tradition to the future and have it something uniquely yours. So I hope these tips were helpful for you to cope and manage your feelings through the holiday season. And please subscribe to my channel, participate, comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything specific you'd like me to talk about or give some ideas about regarding the expat experience, I'd be happy to do so. And thank you for being here. Hope I was helpful. Bye-bye.